Hey everyone, welcome back to Game Center Crown. My name is Joy. This is Detroit Become Human, and we are about to flag down Lieutenant Hank Anderson here at the Detroit Police Department, here with our boy Connor.
Can I help you?
I'm here to see Lieutenant Anderson.
Do you have authorization?
Yes.
Lieutenant Anderson hasn't arrived yet, but you can wait at his desk.
She is cute. Also, I want to point out the variation on the Android armband for models who don't have a sleeve. It's just sort of like this highlighted, glowing area on their right arm. Very interesting that, you know, they're very thorough with the official Android uniform. And I love this.
Tensions in the Arctic have reached a new level, with a Russian carrier and an American patrol boat reported to have clashed last night. Several warning shots were exchanged, apparently with no damage or casualties to either side. The Minister for Defense, Dennis Riggs, has spoken of intolerable provocation that cannot go unanswered. The countries in the region, particularly Sweden and Canada, have called for military forces to withdraw and an international conference to be held. So far, there has been no response from either Moscow or Washington. We'll keep you informed minute by minute as the situation develops.
So sort of this live, you know, footage being interspersed into the game like that, which is kind of an interesting choice. But, okay, we have a Marine flag. I wonder what this is for. Lots of USA and shit. Anyway.
You might be in shock. Just take it easy.
Yeah. Would you mind getting me some water, please?
Sure.
I will say this about this game, especially, and it became apparent to me in this particular area that there is shit happening around you at all times that is not necessarily going to be impacting anything you're doing. But the scenes are so richly built out. Like that whole thing with the water, that didn't need to happen, but they built it anyway, you know? Do not cross the line.
It's okay, just relax. Just tell him what happened to you.
But it was all over so quickly. I didn't even see his face.
Like, shit like this, like, they did not need to build that out. But they did. You know, it's very interesting. Ooh, can I just pass through here? Yes, okay. It just super well done. And again, it's this one in particular that I noticed where all the little details of things getting built out were just so rich in building this world. Like this guy getting up and shuffling his papers. They didn't need to do that. People patrolling around the area. This lady over here is specifically the moment I noticed it, because she's like looking around, kind of looking at it. P.O. person, nice. Yeah, she uncrosses a leg. You can see kind of her face is taking things in, is like, that's not what I wanted. Looking around a little bit more. Kind of contemplating it, and at one point she like kind of sits back in her chair and reads a little bit more. I'm gonna wait till she does that just so you can see just how good these animations are, and just that they put so much detail into this world. And it's like, yeah, like she leans back and she's just like, oh shit, you know, and kind of wiggling back and forth. Like it's all just very human and natural, and I love it. I really wish more games would put that attention to detail into things, like especially with NPCs. It's just such great world building. It's just fantastic. But we can look around a little bit here. This is Police Officer Wilson. Police Officer person kind of cracks me up. Here we have an android cop, model PM 700, commissioned in August of 2037. There's another android cop. This is PC 200, commissioned in January 2035. So we do have some android units here, and they seem to be only about 2 of them. Here's one here who looks like he's about to like kind of click into his charging station. Again, this is a detail that we did not necessarily need. I wonder if the screen is updating as these guys are touching it. If they go that deep into detail, I'm going to lose it. Does not appear so, but still. We had a chance to talk to that guy. This is Police Officer Miller. I think we can still talk to him maybe when he sits back down. This is Detective Reed. What we're looking for is we're looking for Lieutenant Hank Anderson, is why they're letting us look at all the nameplates. Can we talk to you? Because it gave, yeah, there it goes.
Still here? I thought your assignment was over.
It's just been extended.
Hank's gonna be overjoyed to hear that. You were right about that android. It's been quiet in the cell all night. It's scheduled for transfer today.
So this is the guy that led the android out of the interrogation room. And I believe we have an article that we can read over here. Is it going to let us? Not yet. Oh, yes, it is. It looked like it was going to... Famous Detroit painter dies. Carl Manfred. So we know this guy. One of Detroit's brightest lights. And UN warns of World War III. And President Warren at 33% approval. Famous Detroit painter dies. Carl Manfred, one of Detroit's brightest lights. Reports of famous artist Carl Manfred's death have been confirmed. The coroners described a fatal cardiac event induced by a stressful domestic situation. Manfred's son Leo has asked the media to respect his family's privacy at this difficult time. Carl Manfred rose to fame in the 2020s as a figurehead of neo-symbolism, with powerful and dark works in the mold of Francis Bacon. Proliferate years followed until a dark period marked by alcohol and drugs, but the artist had apparently returned to work in recent months. The governor of Detroit expressed her condolences to the family on behalf of the city, describing Manfred as one of Detroit's brightest lights. A collection of Manfred's paintings will be auctioned by his estate in the coming weeks. How convenient, Leo. Ivanov says, "Niet." Russian president responds to Warren's warning. Bold of them to assume that Putin will not, live forever somehow. CyberLife, world's first $1 trillion company, and the global population reaches 10 billion. Let's read about this. Following President Warren's demand that all Russian troops withdraw from the Arctic immediately, President Ivanov of Russia has issued a response. Ivanov branded Warren's comments as a megaphone diplomacy and said U.S. saber rattling is the #1 threat to stability in the region. The Kremlin produced a detailed statement outlining Russia's claim to the territory, and Ivanov said he would remind President Warren that the United States is subject to UN conventions, like everybody else. The conflict shows no signs of abating. Interesting that we're having another Russia-US conflict in this game. Let's see, let's look around a little bit. I think there are some other things that we can kind of take in. This is an android cop. You can tell they have the same face, but also he has, his little android A badge or triangle badge and the armband. I'm actually going to look around a little bit, find Lieutenant Anderson's desk. I wonder... Captain Fowler's unavailable now. We can still look at him, though. There he is. It would stress me out to be in a glass office like this. Just kind of sort of in a fish tank where everybody can observe you. But I'm gonna look around a little bit. We can see the meeting room. But I think we can look around a little bit more once we find Lieutenant Anderson's desk, which is over here. Lieutenant Anderson.
Excuse me. Do you know what time Lieutenant Anderson usually arrives?
Depends on where he was the night before. If we're lucky, we'll see him before noon.
Thanks.
Well, that's sketch, isn't it? We can sit down. And we can explore a new office. So as quickly as we sat, we can stand. And we can look around a little bit. We can learn about Hank. So this is Knights of the Black Death, Dark Heavy Metal, release date of 2021. So he's into heavy metal. We could call him, potentially, but well, why do that when we could just, like, look around? Anti-android slogans, use your brain, not your android, android free space. If I wanted to be ignored, I'd talk to my ex-wife. We don't bleed the same color. So there's a lot of anti-android shit happening here. If you're not a bartender, then go away. Yeah. He is a Detroit basketball fan. Alright, so here's a little bit about Hank. Detroit police dismantle a network of red ice dealers. This is from February 3rd of 2028. More than 50 arrests throughout the country. Detroit's Finest has dealt a massive blow to the city's growing red ice epidemic, with a number of high-profile dealers and suppliers now behind bars and narcotics seized with a street value of $500,000. Detective Hank Anderson, a young but hugely talented detective, is said to have been instrumental in the operation, which took months of planning. The DA described the work of Detective Anderson and his colleagues as model investigative police work. This is from August 22nd, 2029. Detective Anderson promoted to the rank of lieutenant. Becoming the youngest lieutenant on the Detroit police force, Lieutenant Hank Anderson was among the most decorated detective in DPD's recent history, securing a number of high-profile arrests and serving as an integral member of the force. Captain Fowler said the promotion was long overdue, describing Anderson as among the most talented police I've ever worked with. The new lieutenant is expected to rise quickly through the ranks of the department and is already being tipped as a future commissioner. This is from November 23rd, 2031. New record seizure of red ice in Detroit. Nearly a ton of red ice discovered in the hold of a boat after a long investigation conducted by Lieutenant Anderson of the Detroit Police Force. So he's really big on cracking down on red ice. Red Ice Task Force from 2027, a multi-department unit responsible for the Red Ice Network dismantle of 2028. Real police. A good cop. Not seen since 2019. Owe me $50. Asshole. Nice girl. What else we got? But real cops, I guess, you know, not talking about the androids. No, that's not what I wanted to look at. I wanted to look at the chair because there is a clue on it. Hairs. Canine hairs from a St. Bernard. It's true. Hank has a dog. Matches from Jimmy's bar. Made of wood and phosphorus. Why, thank you. Donuts. Calories. 452. Saturated fatty acids. 13 grams. Cholesterol. 19 milligrams. And carbohydrates. 51 grams. What else we got? Coffee cup. Cold coffee. Traces of caffeine. No, really? Japanese maple. Asian. Shishi Gashira Shohin. It looks like it's dead because bonsai trees are actually pretty fickle, some of them. They need a lot of maintenance from what I understand, but we have done all the clues. Lieutenant Anderson was a decorated officer, and here he is.
It's good to see you again, Lieutenant.
Oh, Jesus. Hank! In my office.
We should enter and listen in. We can explore the office in a second. But, ooh, get up those stairs. But we should listen to this. It gives us some insight.
I've got 10 new cases involving androids on my desk every day. We've always had isolated incidents. Old ladies losing their android maids and that kind of crap. But now, we're getting reports of assaults and even homicide, like that guy last night. This isn't just CyberLife's problem anymore. It's now a criminal investigation, and we've got to deal with it before the shit hits the fan. I want you to investigate these cases and see if there's any link.
Why me? Why do I gotta be the one to deal with this shit? I am the least qualified cop in the country to handle this case. I know jack shit about androids, Jeffrey. I can barely change the settings on my own phone.
Everybody's overloaded. I think you're perfectly qualified for this type of investigation.
Bullshit! The truth is, nobody wants to investigate these fucking androids, and you left me holding the bag.
CyberLife sent over this android to help with the investigation. It's a state-of-the-art prototype. It'll act as your partner.
No fucking way! I don't need a partner, and certainly not this plastic prick.
Hank, you are seriously starting to piss me off. You are a police lieutenant. You are supposed to do what I say and shut your goddamn mouth.
You know what my goddamn mouth has to say to you?
Okay,
huh?
okay. I'll pretend like I didn't hear that, so I don't have to add any more pages to your disciplinary folder, because it already looks like a fucking novel. This conversation is over.
Jeffrey, Jesus Christ, why are you doing this to me? You know how much I hate these fucking things? Why are you doing this to me?
Listen, I've had just about enough of your bitching. Either you do your job or you hand in your badge. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got work to do.
Well then. Positive.
I'm very pleased to have joined the team. I can assure you I'll do my very
Close
best.
the door on your way out.
Aight.
Have a nice day, Captain.
We are nothing if not a polite boy. A polite android plastic boy. Alright. We can check on Hank. Which is what we should do. It appears we have not unlocked something. So I'm actually going to take a walk around and give him some space. I can go check in on the deviant. Back here. I can also just check on this guy.
What? What are you looking at? Hey, fuck you! Fucking android.
I wonder if we can agitate him again. I don't think so. Here's the android.
They're going to destroy me.
Now let's be compassionate.
I'm sorry. It's not what I wanted. But there's nothing I can do.
And it made our software instability
I know
go
there's
up.
something you didn't tell me. I need to know before they take you away.
Statuette?
The sculpture you made. Tell me more about it.
I'm going to die.
Deviant non-responsive. I was really hoping he'd tell me more about that statuette.
Open the cell, quick! Hurry!
Whoa, what are you doing, buddy?
I'll call CyberLife. Clean this mess up.
Jesus, bro. I mean, I wouldn't want to be deactivated against my will either, but shit. Alright. Well, we checked on the deviant. I think we can also use the restroom. Observation room. We can watch an interrogation in progress. But I don't think we can hear anything, unfortunately. We can just watch. Actually, is there anything in here? Nope. Nothing of interest. Leave. Room 01. I don't believe we can enter this. I would be very surprised if they let us do that, yeah. We can enter. Why aren't you... There you go. Oh, hello. Come on. Let me enter the bathroom here. Fix our tie. Trying to think if there's anything else that we could do in here. Not that I'm aware of. It's just kind of a fun little break if we need to take a moment to get away. Can exit. And then there is a break room over here where we can have a sort of confrontation.
Fuck, look at that.
This
Our
fucking
friend,
guy
the
again.
plastic detective is back in town. Congratulations on last night. Very impressive.
Greet.
Hello, Detective Reed.
Never seen an android like you before. Muller.
Answer.
RK-800. I'm a prototype.
A prototype? Android detective. So machine's gonna replace us all. Is that it? Hey, bring me a coffee, dipshit. Get a move on!
Accept. I'm not trying to make waves.
Do yourself a favor. Stay out of my way.
your coffee. But your coffee. Oh. Oh. Sad android boy.
Several sources report that CyberLife has provided Detroit police with a prototype detective android. Although police assistant androids have existed for several years now, this would be the first case of an android being authorized to play an active role in criminal investigations. We contacted CyberLife for comment, but no one was available to answer our questions.
The first book written by an artificial intelligence has just been published, and to call it a success would be an understatement. Do Humans Dream of Mammalian Sheep has shot to the top of the bestseller list. Moreover, critics are unanimous in their praise for the depth of thought and originality of this first work. Designed by CyberLife, the AI known as Voltaire analyzed human centers of interest on social networks for several months before its complex algorithms generated the plot of the novel. According to several specialists, it will be very difficult for human authors to compete with these algorithms, and the odds are that most of the books written in the coming years will be the work of artificial intelligence.
Very interesting. Also, the public opinion went down. Either because of us being deployed as a detective or because we were so compliant in getting him coffee. I have not tried the other options. I know that you can ignore him. It would probably piss him off. I'm not trying to make waves. So I'm going to come back and talk to Hank. Can we talk to you? What is your name? Dollins. Okay, or Collins maybe? Yeah, Collins. Alright, so... yeah, we don't have... We've missed something somewhere where we can unlock, but anyway, I'm gonna be understanding.
I get the impression my presence causes you some inconvenience, Lieutenant. I'd like you to know I'm very sorry about that.
Partners.
Now that we're partners, it would be great to get to know each other better.
Desk.
Is there a desk anywhere I could use?
No one's using that one.
Well, all right then. Yeah, I'm trying to think what we missed that wouldn't allow us to have an unlock.
Take a look at these samples yet?
But we can talk to him about any of these things. Let's talk to him about music.
Do you listen to Knights of the Black Death? I really like that music. It's full of energy.
Okay, Connor.
You listen to heavy metal?
Well, I don't really listen to music as such, but I'd like to.
He seemed to like that, though. Let's talk about his dog.
You have a dog, right?
How do you know that?
The dog hair's on your chair. I like dogs. What's your dog's name?
What's it to you? Sumo. I call him Sumo.
Sumo, big old dog. So bringing up the anti-android things is kind of gonna piss him off. Also bringing up basketball is gonna piss him off, because what happens is we're like, oh, did you catch the last game? He's like, oh, that's what I was fucking watching last night before you busted in and made me go to that homicide scene. So it's not a good thing. Let's talk about Fowler, though.
Have you known Captain Fowler for long?
Yeah. Too long.
We could also talk about his hours, but that'll also piss him off, I think, if I remember correctly, because he keeps unusual hours. Like they said, we'll be lucky if we see him before noon, so we should just start working.
If you have any files on deviants, I'd like to take a look at them.
Terminal's on your desk. Knock yourself out.
Alright, access. Alright. So, we have a missing android here in the AL series. The victim was Gordon Lopez. It's a disappearance. The case status is open. The plaintiff reports that he left his android at home as usual, but when he returned, the android was nowhere to be found. No trace of a break-in in the apartment. The android may have left the home without being ordered to. Here we have an attack. This is an AV series. We've actually seen this series at Bellini's paint shop. The victim was Charles Bell. The plaintiff claims to have been attacked by an AV500 number 234777821 model android working as a waiter in the Fast Coney Dogs restaurant chain situated at 842 Chamberlain Avenue. The plaintiff claims the android lunged at him unexpectedly and attempted to strangle the man before leaving the scene. The android remains at large. Here we have an AP series. It was an attack, and the victim was Sarah Cornwall. Let's see. The plaintiff claims to have been attacked by her android, an AP700 number 48913-802 model. The android also trashed several rooms in the house before taking flight. Here we have a disappearance. The victim was Floyd Mills. This is a WR series, missing. The plaintiff, the manager of the Eden Club, which we found before, reported the unexplained disappearance of a sex android model, WR400, number 641790831. The android disappeared after accompanying a customer to his home and never returned to the club. We're gonna find out more about this android later. We have an Unknown Destroyed series, the attempted murder of Leo Manfred. So we actually know that this is in reference to Marcus. The case status is considered solved, and it was involving a android. A famous painter, Carl Manfred, was found dead in his home following an altercation between his android and his son. The latter's witness statement attests to the android behaving violently. The android is thought to be a prototype, unknown model and serial number, and was destroyed at the scene by attending officers. We're also going to learn more about why Marcus is sort of considered a prototype model. Here we have an AX series. It is a homicide. The victim was Todd Williams. This is obviously our girl, Kara. The victim's body was found by a friend who came by to say hello. He immediately called the emergency service at 8:42, who recorded death by gunshot wound. The murder weapon may have belonged to the victim. His android, an AX-400, was not found on the scene and is the main suspect. So let's scan all the files here. So we got them all now.
243 files. First dates back 9 months. It all started in Detroit and quickly spread across the country. An AX-400 is reported to have murdered a man last night. That could be a good starting point for our investigation.
Don't act so excited. Professional understanding.
I understand you're facing personal issues, Lieutenant. But you need to move past them.
Oh, that wasn't great.
Don't talk to me like you know me. I'm not your friend, and I don't need your advice, okay?
Determined.
I've been assigned this mission, Lieutenant. I didn't come here to wait until you feel like working.
Ooh.
Listen, asshole. If it was up to me, I'd throw the lot of you in a dumpster and set a match to it. So stop pissing me off. Or things are gonna get nasty.
Lieutenant? I'm sorry to disturb you. I have some information on the AX-400 that killed the guy last night. It's been sighted in the Ravendale district.
I'm on it.
Oh, Connor, you're just doing your damn best, ain't you? 88% completed, waiting for Hank. Hank got a lead. I'm assuming the other one is Hank did not get a lead. I'm wondering if there's something we could have done with Kara to make it a little bit harder to find us. Also, a friend told me that it is possible to keep Todd alive, but he goes on TV and is like, my android tried to kill me. So, honestly, I rest easy at night knowing that I put a cap in that abusive asshole. Anyway. Hank is still warm. Amanda is trusted. Software instability is a big question mark, and public opinion is skeptical. So, that's going to wrap it up for today, but I am going to back out to the main menu as per the usual to see if Chloe has anything interesting to say. But, yeah, we're starting to see where the, androids' lives are intersecting here, and, we're going to come pretty close to finding Kara, let's put it that way. But all their storylines will merge at one point. They'll come to an inflection point. And Chloe doesn't look like she has anything for us, so I'm gonna cut it here, and hopefully you'll join me next time for when we investigate Kara as Connor, among other deviant androids, and catch up with how Marcus is reintegrating into life and what he'll do now that he's sort of risen from the ashes. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and I hope to see you next time. Later, y'all.